Well, this episode's going to be positively illuminating. I've got my beautiful brand new Laguna bandsaw, and I've got this light that I'm going to be attaching. It's an accessory that Laguna sells, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Well, my new Laguna bandsaw has an accessory that I wanted to get, and it's a light that attaches up here, and there's a plug on the back side. So my shop is well lit, but I thought it'd be nice to have that extra lighting just in case. So I'm going to unbox this thing and get it installed for you. Well, here's what came in the box. This is a stout looking light. It's got a big on-off switch in the back. It articulates. This should move. I haven't figured that out yet. We'll figure it out later. And I've got some cable management and then some screws, nuts, and washers. So pretty straightforward, no directions. So we're just going to muddle through it. And I'm going to relocate the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, well, in a perfect world, Laguna would have tapped this for the screws, but they didn't. Wish they had. That would have been a lot slicker. But anyway, I would normally either take the blade off, because we're going to be working in a real close proximity. Instead, I use some painter's tape. That'll keep me from getting cut. This would be an easier install with a second person. The light's fairly heavy, and I've got to get a screw through and then reach in there and get a washer and a bolt on there. Let's see if I can do this without dropping anything. I don't know about you, but my fine motor skills aren't what they used to be. Okay, well, that's a good start right there. Hopefully I'm not blocking the view. Let me shift my arm. All right. So Laguna obviously set this up so you could use this as a universal light on any number of tools. There we go. So far, so good. All right. I've managed to not drop anything yet, but the day is young. There it went. We'll try again. Well, let's shift to high speed for a minute. I did drop a couple of nuts. I picked them up and made everything work, but I didn't want to bore you with minutes of me fiddling around. Well, I got the 4 screws in there, and it's a bit of a challenge because there's not a lot of room in there. In fact, I'm going to move the camera so you can see. There you go. Pretty small space. The blue tape almost worked, so I think take the blade off next time. This would be a lot easier to install when you're actually putting together the bandsaw, so that's my recommendation. Do it first. Laguna, you probably ought to have some lock nuts on those, something. I'm going to have that as a maintenance item. I'm going to look at that just to make sure that those screws aren't getting loose. I don't want things flying around inside my bandsaw, so that definitely is an area for improvement. I may eventually just disassemble it and get some lock washers and make that potential problem go away. So there you go. Kind of a pain, but it worked. I'm going to go ahead and get the cable management in. I'm on the back side of the bandsaw now. I've wiped the surfaces down with 91% isopropyl alcohol, and these cable management guys, they're got a little self-adhesive, so they'll stick just fine to the surface. The cord is very long, so I'm going to have to create some sort of a loop down here before it plugs in. Again, I think Laguna made this as a universal accessory, so can't fault them for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these installed, and I'll show you the final product, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's lit up. The cable management is in. I use some electrical tape to clean up that mess of wiring. I That bugs me to have wiring loose like this. But anyway, it is what it is. So cable ties would have been the way to go, but I didn't have any cable ties. Welcome to most of our worlds when things aren't necessarily perfect. Let's turn the light on and see what happens. Okay, well that's nice and bright. Gonna work on my tan, I think. Okay, now let's see how this moves. Okay, so that's like a friction fitting, and I like that. That's really cool. And down here, I've got a piece of wood. You can see how I'm moving the light, and now the light is really nicely on that wood right there. So that's really good. I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, you know, a couple of things again. Lock nut or a lock washer for these guys would be the way to go, and have some cable ties so you can clean up your mess a little bit nicer than this. I kind of wish that I didn't have the floppy electrical cord, but that is what it is. I'm being picky. Overall, I think that light's going to be beneficial, and for the $90 I paid for it, was it worth it? Yeah, I think so. Hey, we got it done. You know, if you like the content, go ahead and hit subscribe for me, and also click on that bell. That'll get you all of my notifications of the content that I create. As always, I really appreciate you following along, and have a great day.